What's up guys, Joe Parfenic here and welcome to my YouTube channel. This week I'm going to get into one of my three main sourcing methods, and this is the storefront stalking method. This is where you are tracing other sellers' products back to the original source website. And this video will get into tips and tricks and what to look out for when you're storefront stalking. As always, if you got value from this, please drop a like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys. What's up guys, welcome to this storefront stalking tutorial. So I'm going to get started with a product that I know is an online arbitrage product. So some other ways, if you don't know and you're starting from scratch, you could think about what you hear of in the online arbitrage space, like Stanley Cups are very well known. Kachava is another big one. Those are great places to start, not necessarily buy the product, but reverse source the sellers from that listing. So that is what I would recommend to any beginner. Start with, a big online arbitrage keyword, buzzword that you hear per brand or whatnot. Start there. Let's example Nike. We could say you could start there. There's a ton of online arbitrage sellers, but this video will get more into the tactics of how you can find specific online arbitrage sellers. So right here, I can tell. So they do file IP complaints now. You're probably not going to want to buy this product because it looks like they did kick off a bunch of sellers recently. And you can see it came up on IP alert here. So I probably wouldn't buy this product, but it is a good example because there still are plenty of sellers on this listing that are doing online arbitrage, most likely. There may be some wholesalers mixed in there or some hybrid sellers in there with online arbitrage and wholesale, but we do know that this is definitely a online arbitrageable product, and we can find other products from those sellers that are great now that we can purchase. So I'm going to get into how I would do it, but there are other ways. So I'm more old school. I would click on this and then go through the sellers, try to find the right ones in terms of review count, which I'll get into in a second. But a lot of people do like to do this the seller amp way, so I'll briefly get into that. So if I click on here, we see there's 39 reviews. Looks like they probably do online arbitrage. Usually you want to stay in between around, 10 to around 300 reviews or so. That's typically an online arbitrage seller. Any more than that, it's probably going to be wholesale mixed in at the very least. But yeah, so this right here represents a pretty solid opportunity. So we have this storefront, and you can go through this one by one. For me, I like to go the other way. I like to do it the way I was talking about before. But you can just basically go from Google with this seller amp, and with the seller amp, you can see all these keywords or key data here. But for me, I'm just more old school. I can see by looking at the Keepa anyway if I want to decide to purchase the product or not. So I'll just go into how I would reverse source. So we're going to click on this and we're going to look for sellers who have around at least 10 reviews, preferably more. So we can see this storefront here has 41 reviews. Looks like they're probably doing online arbitrage. So let's click on them. And looks like right away I can see some online arbitrageable products. Juvenon, we have Benefit. I've seen that brand before. Tarte, another online arbitrage brand. So right away we can see, 1MD. We can see a bunch of products that are online arbitrageable. So then we know that this is probably an online arbitrage seller because of the brands that they have and they carry. The types of products are key here. You're going to want to make sure you're finding the right types of products. If they have a lot of small and light, most likely they are doing wholesale. Sometimes there is online arbitrage, small and light opportunities. But, if you see stuff that's less than $12, it's probably more likely wholesale. But it's just the types of products that you'll see, like bulk grocery type of products typically would be wholesale. But yeah, if we get into it, we can pull this product up right here. So we see from the data just how I would typically just start sourcing a product. So I would look at the estimated sales. I could see it's a variation. For the next thing I'm doing is going to, you have to click on the Amazon thing again so you can see the variation. So so let's see the variation now. And we see that, so this one gets majority of the sales. 95% of them are going to this one. So this is probably the one we want to buy anyway. But as we go in, so we see the sales. That gets a lot of sales a month. It looks like the brand is on the listing. It really depends on the listing that you're buying from. Some brands are better than others. It doesn't look like this brand is too crazy when it comes to I don't see any history of IP complaints, but that doesn't mean they won't ever do it. There's a first time for everything, so that's one thing to keep in mind. But the brand is on the listing, so that is slightly a red flag in my eyes. But we can go see if we can find it profitably. So we go right away. Juvenon pulls up. So it looks like subscribe and save, you get it for $30. If you scroll down, looks like 7 bottles for $199. So we can add that to the cart. And then we would go for just to see what codes we can get from Capital One Shopping. So right away we see Hello 30. So that gets us to $20. I have prep fees in there, so you could take out $1. So let's say our cost is $19. So right away we have a lead here. So you can probably sell it for $42, considering the brand is selling it for $42. Looks like a great buy. It depends on how risk adverse you are. You want to be careful because the brand is on the listing, but this is an example of an online arbitrage product that we'd see and that would do pretty well. Even in the past, at $40, this product still does really well. So right away you see, there you go, 24% profit margin, which is excellent. So right away we found one off the bat, and you would just keep on going. So it's not always going to be great like that. It's not always going to be winners. But we can go through Kachava. I could show you how you would find that profitably, even though, they do file IP complaints now. So you're going to want to be careful. But we do see that, let's say we add, I think it was chocolate was the one that we were looking at. So we could add chocolate to the cart. Looks like if you subscribe, you get it for $60 a bag. And then the next thing you're going to want to look for is a coupon to see if we can lower this at all. So let's see what we can get it down to. So now we can get it down to 270. So 270 5 by 5. Let's redo that. Oh, sorry, I was typing that in wrong. Long day. But we got it to 54. And let's see, we want to see if we can sell it for higher than what Seller Amp has it at. Looks like we can get the buy box at around 90 right now. So there you go, 15% margin. If there wasn't an IP complaint here, right here you can see an elevator drop. If there wasn't this, then maybe I would consider buying this product. But this long drop here combined with IP alert coming up shows me that this is a little bit risky. It depends on how risk adverse you are. It could come back in at any time and then kick any seller off the listing. So you're going to want to be careful. But this is a good example of 2 online arbitrageable products that you can reverse source the sellers from. And I would definitely highly recommend doing that. And just, I know I made it look kind of easy here, but this is just an example of how it can work when it goes well. You can find a bunch of things very quickly. So I hope you guys got value from this video and this helped you with your storefront stalking when you source for online arbitrage products. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you guys for watching. And if you got value, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys. Have a good one.